is back, actually, of people that have missed the show. So here I am again. I've actually been on holiday, that don't know. So this goes out on Instagram and LinkedIn as well. So if you don't know, I've been away on holiday for a couple of weeks in Greece. So welcome back to seeing my show, taking some wisdom, so taking some nuggets, tamed as well on my morning rambles, if you want to call it that. So how's your booze situation? That's what today's question is about. How's your relationship? Down below in the comments or on Messenger. Yeah, booze on an all-inclusive holiday, which is what I've just been on. Got some relations and stories and tips, ultimately 3 to help you moderate or quit booze on an all-inclusive holiday. Pretty challenging, right? Just going to share with you a different route, actually. I've just come down a slightly different route, a route you probably haven't before. So I thought I'd share it with you. Really, I'm super blessed and grateful that this is on my doorstep. This is one of our walking routes, actually. Second, you can probably hear the birds tweeting as well, which is really cool. Yeah, so super nice, quiet place, tapping back into nature. It's part of my routine. Walking the dog. The dog's been walked today already. All-inclusive holiday. Hugely challenging. And I don't mind telling you, I was mad 2 days of my holiday. I totally underestimated it. I'll tell you how it. So what I didn't realise when I booked this, so this holiday, part of our 50th celebration. So I was 50 while we were away on and my wife is already 50, so we were but we were also celebrating 20th year anniversary. So we've been married for 20 years and we've been together for 30 years. So kind of when I booked the holiday, we kind of went all out. We went for a really nice place we could find, but we actually went all inclusive. And I'll tell you for why. Was to have everything at hand, have everything catered for, to still get out and about, use it as like a base pad to other parts of Greece, other parts of this island in Greece, which we were in Kos. Do things as if we weren't on an all-inclusive holiday. Yeah, so that was the plan, that was the idea. What I didn't join the dots when I booked the holiday. What's an all-inclusive holiday without booze? Oops. Say hello, guys. Also, live or replay, say hello. We're not hiding in the background. Keep the energy levels going. Timothy, how are you? And I can only see you if you tell me live or replay. And let me know that you're here. Give me massive energy. So, the all-inclusive holiday, how did it work? How did it roll? First few days, massive problem, massive challenge, triggered left, right, and centre. Everywhere participating, experiencing. First few days, there's booze, especially all-inclusive. Yeah. And my brain, and this is all about, this will be one of my 3 solid tips to overcome the triggers, to at least moderate booze either. So let me tell you about the triggers first, and let me tell you about what first few days triggered left, right, and centre, and booze in my face, left, right, and tell you what the inner voice was, the inner conversation, the bullshit story that I was telling myself. Free, you can have what you want. It's all free. You can have whatever. You can get them to put together whatever concoction they want to for you. and all these memories came back of when I used to booze a lot. You know, sunrise. My favourite was Long Island iced tea. I don't know if you've ever drunk that or drink that iced tea. It's quite simple. The reason why I drank it is because there's actually 5 spills of iced tea. Yeah. So no matter what mixture or concoction or volume that they put into it, that drink is going to be super strong. Try and get 5 measures into a glass and not make it obliterate. Yeah. And I remember back in the day when I used to drink this Long Island, literally would rock me, shake me, as in, you know, I'd stand up from having one Long Island iced tea, and that amount of alcohol hitting my body in one time, it was like, there was no surprise that I went bright red and blotchy at the, yeah. But that's it. That's what the all-inclusive holidays were or are about. In my triggered all the time, and I said to my missus as well. I said, "Oh, I think I fucked up here." And swearing, Timothy, you know how it rolls. And yes, I did eat lots of ice cream, lots. But you'll be pleased to know, or I'll be pleased to know that I didn't put on weight as well. Didn't intend not to put on weight, and I wasn't. I was moderate in my volume of food. Is what I was saying. Is that yeah? I just enjoyed the food for what it is. I had to restrict myself. I did not eat anything, but I just didn't go mad with the portions. Bonus tip for you in terms of food in an all-inclusive holiday: if you don't want to get fat, if you're in an all-inclusive holiday, just watch your portions. Yeah, and that's what I did. Indulged in things like ice cream, but I backed off a little bit on the other portions. You know, it was a day which we did every day. You know, I didn't, you know, cut out any meals. It's what I did. And there's another little bonus tip for you: is reduce the portions, breakfast or lunch. Yeah, that's how I got around it. Is not I'm missing any food, not eating anything, but just backing up the breakfast or the lunch, and then dinner as normal. Anyway, that's the side I like to give on this show. So back to the booze. So trigger left, right, and centre. First tip I'm going to give you is the word booze. This is the mnemonic or the memory. These tips. So the first one is booze. And what I mean by that is, how do you deal with the booze? How around you the whole time on an all-inclusive holiday? So to remove it, yeah, we had a minibar with lager in it, and I kept effing filling it up on a daily. I kept giving it back to them. I kept removing 2 cans of lager, which in our fridge. I kept giving it back to reception on a daily basis until it, and then we spoke to the people, the guys who come around, the food and drink people, whatever. Told him twice, don't put booze in my, yeah, put more soft drinks, but don't keep putting lager in there because I don't drink it, right? What happens? He keeps putting it back in there. So I said, you know what? I said, you know what? Fuck it. And actually, we just kept pouring the lager down the sink. Wastage, but it was like, you know what? Just get fed up with it. And then actually, by the end of the week, they stopped filling it, which was great. So that was one tip. The second tip is, what do you do on an all-inclusive holiday if you're not drinking booze? What do you drink? That was a real problem for me because, you know, the wife would order whatever she wants. She'd have a Bailey. I'm sitting there twiddling my thumbs and trying to communicate, you know, with English. And I'm like, what have you got alcohol free? And they're telling basic soft drinks. You know, Fanta, Coke, Pepsi, whatever, on an all-inclusive holiday, right? So I was like, okay, but what else do you do? Up to sort of day 3 now by now, and I'm getting pretty frustrated. I'm like, you know, I need to find it during this holiday, otherwise I'm going to be tearing my hair out. And the tree were actually screaming by day 3, if I'm honest, you know, because all of my memories and all of my to an all-inclusive holiday is getting hammered, right? You know, getting hammered from midday, doing my workout in the morning, or steadily hammered. Yeah. So what I did, to be quite confrontational, but you got to be quite forthright for this one. Bar manager aside, and I just said, look, I'm not drinking. You to help me to find some alternatives to. So do me a huge favour, please, if you don't mind. You know, and literally this guy gave me the guided tour of his the bar area. You know, he literally took me, and the smell of booze is rife at that point. You know, all the spirits, tops open. But literally, the guy took me through all of the options that they have, and all of these other menu as well. By the way, you know, the menu is very, very basic. Just says soft drinks and all the, you know, kind of soft drink types. But what he had, I'm going to use a big plethora of like syrups and mixers and using it, right? So basically what I then did, I found combinations of drinks, quenching, enjoyable, bit of fun, bit colourful, umbrella in it as well if I wanted to, just to jazz it up a little bit and pretend I'm boozing on, do that if I wanted to. But that was massively helpful, and I was forever grateful to that guy. So there's the first big tip. If you're reducing on, what do you do about booze? What do you do alternative? What do you do when other people are drinking? What do you could potentially be surrounded by booze? Well, you find solutions, right? You find alternatives out of your face, whatever way you can. And if that is, well, if you're trying to give up booze at home, remove it, get it out of the house. It was ritualistically throw the booze in the bin and do it really, as I say, made a huge mark in my mind at that time. So that was number 1. Number 2, mindset. Mindset is the big thing, right? What happens when your brain keeps screaming at you something? And of course, the more you can't have something, the more you want it. Yeah. Doing that moment, and this takes repping, this takes practice. What I do in that moment, everything right down. Yeah. In that moment of trigger, in that, and I apply this to anything that you're over consuming and shouldn't be consuming, whether it be food, whether it be alcohol, any type of consumption, addictive consumption. Human, consciously slow everything right down. So I'm getting triggered, right? And I just physically stop and just stand there and just say, look, I need to process this. I need to slow this down, this narrative in my head, and ask myself some powerful questions, you know, such as, if I had a drink, what would then happen? If I had a drink, happen afterwards? I know what would happen afterwards, and you play it out. So I'm going to have one drink. I know I'm going to have a 5th. So I know I'm going to probably have a 10th, you know, and then play it forward to the follow in your mind. Yeah. And just say, what's the truth? What's the reality? What's of you boozing? Yeah. And conversation with yourself, you know, that inner voice. I call it the lower self, higher self conflict conversation. And it's, you know, and do I want to drink? Do I truly want to drink? Do I want to be the person who drinks? And I kind of explored that a little bit more just to reinforce it. And I was like, well, why is that? And actually, one of the members of staff asked me, why are you not drinking? Gave that I'm hugely comfortable with is that there's no benefit for me drinking alcohol. It doesn't do me any benefit, you know, and that's it really. More justification. And the girl said, and this is part of the questions. Oh, did you have a bad experience? And I said, well, no, not really. There wasn't one experience, but it was just a whole drink or drunkard lifestyle, you know. And what then moves on from that, and that's tip number 3 here, by the way. You've sorted your mindset. You've removed booze from your environment, from your front of your nose. You found solutions. You found an alcohol-free alternative. Number 3, tip number 3 is the word sober. That's the memory aid for it. What I mean by that is, so what is the sober lifestyle for you? Do you do without booze that will plug that hole, that will plug that void when you normally, yeah? So, for example, on the all-inclusive holiday, around like a lunatic, and my head screaming, drink, 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 drink. Yeah. By the 4th day, I'd come to terms with it, and I was like, okay, Paul Fitzgerald, what do you normally do? What do you do at home? You know, what's your routines? It's like, okay, now I remember who I am and the sober lifestyle that I run. And I got back to the biggest thing I started doing again on holiday, which I hadn't done for the too busy having that inner turmoil. Meditation. You know, for me, meditation. Start off the day with a meditation. It balances everything in my mind, and all I can say is the whole day goes better after a meditation, and especially when you're battling an addiction or you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. So they're the sober routines. The other thing was exercise. And it was interesting actually that I did start at day 9. And there's another reason for that though, is that my body was tired. 2-week holiday, just what the doctor ordered. My body needed a rest for training. Surprise, surprise. And my mind needed a rest because months, I've dropped bits of it into Facebook, but some of it is not relevant for public consumption, and it's not, it's our issue. It's not other people's. But anyway, that was great. But then I remembered I tapped back into lifestyle. Who the fuck am I? Yeah, I don't drink. I'm not a person who drinks. What does that sober person do? That sober person gets out and about experiences and really gets involved and is present in the current moment. Speaking to you, hearing the birds tweeting. I'm here on my own in this field, which is great. And that's what this is all about. So just to recap there, I know it's been a bit of a ramble, guys. I've rambled on to 19 minutes. Thank you for sticking with me if you have done so. Yeah, comments would be awesome. But just to recap, if you're trying to, whether it be on a specific all-inclusive holiday or generally, tips. So, and I'll probably put these in a different order because that's how my mind works. So let's go. Number 1 is sober lifestyle as a sober person, and what activities do you love to do when you're not? Tip number 1 is pack your life with stuff that you love to do. Tip without booze. Yeah. Tip number 2 is the word booze, and is remove booze from around you. Remove it from in front of your nose. Remove, you can, if your partner doesn't drink. If they do drink, that's a different conversation. There's different ways. On an all-inclusive holiday, you need to be brutal with the staff. You need to tell them, I don't want booze. Don't put the fucking mini bar my fridge with booze. Yeah, they get it eventually. Probably on the third or fourth time of asking, when I'm probably angry. So remove it, and then part 3 is mindset. That's a powerful thing, and mindset takes repping over and over and over, doing the right thing, showing up, and doing what you said you were going to do, King. Yeah. So I had to have that whole conversation with myself, the whole powerful question. Who are you? What lifestyle are you leading? Sober. You're leading a sober life. Okay. So what does that mean? What does that equal? What are the things you pack your life with to stay sober and to remain sober? And what's the stuff joy to do? Gonna leave it there, guys. Been a pleasure. There's loads of you on today, but you're not spouting in the future. Yeah. Or forever hold your silence. Really important that you pass. I say it almost every time. Personal development is not a spectator. Reach out, speak to me, have a conversation, feed off my energy. Let me feed off of yours, and I can give. Gonna leave it there, guys. Gonna give you a quick trip to our ruins near my house as well. This is really a nice area. Look at this. And I just want to do one thing. Apologies for the time consumption. I'll try this as well. I want to see if this works, and if you can if you can, let me know if you can see more clearly, and if you can see more of me. Because literally turn the phone around to sideways. But the challenge I've then got, when I do that, I can't see anything. All I can see literally is, and I can't even see where I am on the phone and comments, which is probably more important for me. So, but let me know how that is. That, if you don't mind, guys, would really appreciate it. Taken far too much of your time, but I hope you've enjoyed it. Fitzy's back. Yeah, there's going to be loads of nuggets in here. Show going forward as well. I'm going to throw in a few different things. Call it a bit more where I'll be a bit more smartly dressed. I won't be in my stuff that I come from boot camp with. You might get 1 or 2 shows in my office. Well, we'll actually sit down and speak to you session. Yeah. Couple more messages. Okay. Cool. Right, gonna leave it there, guys. Take care of yourself. Have an awesome weekend.